Hello, hey guys. Welcome to the first review preview video of the league this year. Gonna go over all the matchups last week, going to preview this week, and pretty exciting. And there's a lot to go over. I'll try to be as quick as I can, but concise. And really, I say record breaking because we had three ties this week, and that's never happened as far as I can recall. Three ties, and boy, I mean, what do you? It just shows, and even the two wins that happened, Rich and myself, we're tied for first place, sole possession, both of us, right? So it's very level playing field. It's very level. That's what we found the first week. Everybody's in it. They're all everybody in the league is doing a great job trying to keep it consistent and steady because really any of those matchups, all five of them could have gone either way. So it just some things happened and the other things just didn't happen for other teams. And we're gonna start off with my matchup with Drew, and and what happened with him was Kane. Matt Kane happened. Unfortunately for Giants fans and Drew Paz, Kane did not have a good outing, and we don't need to go over that. We know what happened, and so he struggled, pushing him over the ERA ledge, and that was one of the deciding factors for Drew losing. And believe it or not, this was the first matchup that I have beaten Drew in fantasy baseball on opening week. The last 4 years have either been a tie or a loss, so I'm happy to start 1-0. That's never happened before. Was not a great week by any of us, but sometimes it gets the job done, and that's what you have to do. Highlights: Drew. The heck happened to Will Middlebrooks? I mean, he went yard three times. Last Sunday, Reynolds was killing the ball. He had two jacks. Pujols had two in a game. The offense was pretty stable. I think could have won sometimes, and the guys that didn't perform as well as they'd like is maybe Josh Reddick, Starlin Castro. The numbers will come up. I don't see any reason to be worried there. And it's the first week. You got a lot of time. Pitching in, Jeff Samardzija, 22 strikeouts in 13 innings. That was exceptional. That was and helped Drew win that strikeout category. And had some good pickups with Kevin Correa, Hisaishi Iwakuma, but not so much with Clayton Richard, Julio Teheran, and some other guys that just Lucas Harrell tanked the bed. And that's what it comes down to sometimes, is just making the right pickups. So I came away with the victory. Paz falls short. Claims he gets off to slow starts, but it is what it is. I don't see any problems going forward with him. And for myself, highlight Coco Crisp. He's gone off. Dexter Fowler, 4 jacks. Aaron Hill's gotten off to a very nice start. Youkilis doing well for the Yanks. And was able to get 3 stolen bases out of Alcides Escobar. On the pitching end, Clayton Kershaw saved my butt. 16 innings, 16 strikeouts, 2 wins, a whip under, .44. You got it. Halliday's an alarming. He's a problem. Other guy that did well was Hyunjin Ryu, my buddy, Rookie of the Year. So, all right, enough of us. Moving on to more of the exciting matchups. We had one of the we'll go through the win first, and then we'll get to the ties. Richard Hamilton, congratulations, first career fantasy victory over playoff contender Eric Yee. I mean, this was phenomenal. Yee had an okay week, but Hamilton's offense, boy, did it explode. And the best offense of the week, hands down, and the pitching got the job done, and that's all you have to do. If you can get one good and one decent, that's what you got to do. And Rich, the rookie, is not phased by the pressure, and this could be good. You could be good for the league. I just like I'm saying, it's a level playing field. Teams are balanced, managers are solid, so this is good. For Eric, you can highlight Ben Zobrist, 7 ribbies. That's very, very good, and he's the RBI master. You had 3 jacks from Shin-Soo Choo, 8 runs scored. The Reds were going off with their offense. I mean, that was, I didn't see that coming. But his Alejandro De Aza, the guy that he keeps dropping or trying to trade or whatever, that's not going to work. He didn't do very well. And Victor Martinez, take him some time to get going. Not used to where he's at right now. Pitching wise, you got to give him props for the Kyle Loesch pickup. He's done well. Justin Verlander, you got to expect he's the ace. But David Price, ugh. He's supposed to be the other ace. But what happened there? He got lit up. ERA of 8.18 over the week. And just not looking himself. Johnny Cueto, good performance. And he's got some other guys that chip in with a good start here and there. But I think the pitching battle, it was just barely won. And Richard had the instance where he was just under the max under Sunday, and he was able to use the 9 starts or whatever he had to. I think it was the 9 start. Yeah. So to come over the limit. And he did a great job with that. Brett Anderson, a stud. Tim Hudson, the always good veteran. Tommy Malone, my guy. I mean, it's no wonder he's doing good. Zach Greinke, Brett Anderson, Tommy Malone. No, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason. He knows who to get. He knows it was a solid draft, and no one tanked the bet. No one crapped the bet except for John Axford. And he's a reliever. Well, it happens, I guess. Well, again, congratulations, Rich. And he's a competitor looking out, moving forward, sharing first place here. As for Eric, who knows what he's doing right now. He's probably ticked off that he lost. But I think he'll rebound shortly. Moving to the ties now. We had 3. 2 7-7s and an 8-8. We'll get to the 8-8 first. And Dudek does this a lot where he skates out of matchups when he probably should have lost. It's hard to say that in this, but Frank's pitching was overpowering. He probably had the best pitching of the week, a 2.43 team ERA and a 1.09 WHIP. The offenses were mediocre for both teams, but Frank had Chris Davis, 17 homers, and a lot of those, I think, was it 4? Came from Chris Davis, and he had 17 RBIs. There's a lot. Frank should have won this matchup. He destroyed Dudek in many of the categories, and he just fell short in strikeouts and runs. So it's tough. He converted 8 out of 8 saves. Dudek 1 out of 3. So it's a sluggish start for Dudek out of the gate. I think Frank's team has some promise moving forward. The highlights, Dudek, Norichika Aoki, 370 average. That's really good. Cargo's, he's a keeper. Been doing well. Just hit a blast tonight. Ichiro 1 for 14. Not liking that. As Drupal Cabrera 2 for 20. I'll trade for him, Dudek, just so you know. And Michael Kadire, what a surprise. 444 out of the gates. So Dudek, I think his offense will come back, and usually does. For for the pitching, you got lit up with Cishek. That's unfortunate for the save situation. JJ Putt's not a strong showing. It just wasn't quite there. Strasburg only mediocre numbers. Bud Norris mediocre. Just I don't know. Hiroki got hurt. Gio was probably the bright spot, and then my guy Dan Straley. So he's got some promise here. The pitching for Dudek's always been. He's always had a few good guys, and then it's kind of just average. And he doesn't like to trade his good pitchers. But I think John Neese will provide. Frank, his buddy, or my buddy, Yoenis Cespedes, he didn't get off to as good of a start as you would like. Chris Davis, though, the highlighted, come on. 10 for 22. Michael Bourne, 9 for 28. You can talk about these guys all you want, but he is pretty level across the board. I don't think that anybody that you expected to do well, I mean, other than Yoenis, really, I think it was good. Billy Butler, 8 RBIs. He's just getting the production, and Billy Butler's another one of my guys. So impressive showing from Frank. A lot of good numbers there. Pitching, Felix, he's always going to be good. And John Garland, I mean, who even remembers that guy? He picked him up, and he got a good outing out of him. And then he's just pretty consistent across the board. He's got decent relievers, Brandon League, Bobby Parnell, Jim Johnson, and this really helps with the ERA. And I think, again, best Addison Reed, too. Probably the best pitching in the league at this point. So, good job, Frank and Dudek, and way to stay in there. And it's a classic veteran matchup. We love to see that. And I gotta hurry up with the 7. You know what? I'll just make this video just a preview video, a review video, because there's a lot to cover here. For the 7 matchups, we'll go with the Panda Expense and Jesus Hernandez. The Andrew Matt matchup, and Andrew pulled some risky moves here, and he just fell a homer, an extra base hit short, tied in walks. Again, these match and holds can go either way. I think you have to credit Matt's pitching. Really strong performance, and he benefited because Masterson, Lester, Shields, and Wainwright all had 2 starts, and they all did decent. Putting up strikeout numbers. They had the ERA was low. So you got to look at that as a positive. Matt, I mean, guys that you wouldn't expect: Masterson, Lester, Shields, maybe not even Wainwright in some cases, even though he drafted him pretty early. They did really well, and he got those guys late. So impressive. Maybe Matt's turning around this season, and we hope to see that. Just other than Volquez, I mean, I would trash him. I never see any consistent thing in him, but that's just me. But solid, yeah, he did already, by the way. So that's pitching off to a good start. Carlos Santana on fire as a catcher. I mean, he was 5 for 5 on Sunday. Hit a couple of jacks throughout the week. And Tulo's coming back strong, looks good. Adrian Gonzalez hit 8 for 20. And so that there obviously is some room to improve. Hayward didn't get it going. Jesus Montero, Ryan Howard, these guys, Giancarlo didn't get it going. But I gotta give credit to Justin Upton. He stuck with him. He kept him. And he did a great job. 5 homers. He's been hot. In Andrew's case, I thought he was pretty good offense. 266 average is not bad. I mean, there was no highlighted guy. But everyone was decent. Victorino, Rollins, Crawford, Brzezinski, Pence. You look at Pence had 2 homers. Sandoval had 5 RBIs, and there's a reason why you call him the Panda Expense. Chase Utley 7 ribbies too. That's good. And then the pitching, it just struggled. R.A. Dickey, what are you going to do about that? You can't. So I'll finish this in a sec.